The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The NFL schedule releases Wednesday night, and there's a ton of major questions surrounding the New York Jets. I said questions. I mean questions, people. It's Monday after all. We got a lot to talk about. Richie from Jets Media is going to join me to break it all down. So let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season. We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, Jets fans. Welcome in, everybody. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Happy Mother's Day once again to all the moms out there. Before we bring on Richie from Jets Media, folks, if you are an Asmaniac or if you are on Patreon, you could watch the full recap of the Bonesy vs. Neal Heavyweight Shoe Salesman Championship of the World. The video is live for those of you who are, once again, Asmaniacs or you're a subscriber to my Patreon. Gator did a great job editing together all the videos, the live stream, the behind-the-scenes recap of Bonesy versus Neal. And I won't spoil anything, but when Bonesy calls in later, we do have some controversy involving the final result from the madness. But if you want to watch the video, check it out. It is available for all Asmaniacs and Patreon subscribers. Joining me right now to talk all things Jets is Richie, Jet content creator, his channel, Jets Media. What's up, Richie?
What's up, Jake? Thank you so much for having me on. Excited for the schedule to officially come out. And how about a shout out to Jets fans in the chat right now? Hope you guys are having a fantastic Monday morning. Let's get straight into business, Jake. Appreciate you having me on again.
Jets fans certainly doing a lot better than the Knicks fans are. And if you're both, you're in some pain after that debacle yesterday, Richie.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, talk about a miserable fest immediately from the opening tip. I don't even want to talk about it, Jake, but we have to because, as you all know, I do cover the Knicks on a YouTube channel called Knicks Media. So we'll be live about that today and break down what's going to happen in Game 5. But, man, it stunk last night, Jake. There's no sugarcoating it on Mother's Day.
No, hopefully they're well rested now for Game 5 tomorrow. I mean, you lose by 30, you lose by 1. It all counts the same. 2-2 going back to New York. 2 of the next 3 at the Garden. Got to find a way.
Got to defend home court. You have home court advantage in round 1. They took advantage. You have home court in round number 2 as the second seed. You win at home, you win the series. That's how I'm looking at it.
Well said. All right. Jet-wise, I'm going to put up the Jets' home and away schedule for the upcoming season here. I look at this schedule, Richie, and I think to myself, first thing I want to know when it comes to the biggest question surrounding the schedule, who the week 1 opponent is, how many primetime games, how many just total standalone games, will the Jets have a London game? And then I always look to see, okay, who you open with and then who do you finish with? They finished with New England last year. I wonder, does that mean they're finishing with either Miami or Buffalo this upcoming year? But your initial thoughts here, you look at the opponents on the screen. What to you are some of the biggest things you're the most curious about when it comes to the schedule coming out Wednesday night?
Yeah, you bring up the last game of the season, and that always is one of the biggest games I look at, even though it didn't matter the last few or the most recent seasons because we're out of the playoffs. But when's the last time the Jets finished the season at home, Jake? It feels like we're always on the road at home. I would love a home game in Week 18 or in Miami maybe, just for good weather. But when it comes to starting off the season and how many primetime games, I think that a really good opportunity for the Jets to open up for the NFL, you look at this schedule, the one matchup that I think is going to be on primetime 100% is going to be Houston at home. Okay, because the New York Jets hosted the Houston Texans last year. We don't know what happened in that game. Zach Wilson somehow won Player of the Week. He outperformed CJ Stroud. The Jets kind of blew out Houston, and Stroud went down late in that game. It was a rainy game. The Texans have a lot of offseason hype. The Jets got more offseason hype. So if there was a team that I think the NFL wants to open up the season on like Sunday Night Football at MetLife Stadium for a home opener or Monday night, I could see Jets-Texans. You can also argue, like they did last year, Jets versus an AFC East rival in week number 1 for a prime time, because that is always big time against the Bills or even Miami. I think the Jets are going to have a similar amount of primetime games this year than they had last year, around 4 or 5, if I'm not mistaken. And hey, I think that the London game is very, very likely, and it's going to be against Minnesota, I believe. Or am I wrong there?
Could be Minnesota, could be Jacksonville. I do think they're going to have a London game. So the question just becomes, which team is it going to be against?
Yeah, that's true. And I feel like the Jets always, I feel like, are in London every other year. And the fact that Minnesota and Jacksonville are both hosting a London game at home and they did not announce the opponents, those are two very, very likely scenarios. The Jets going out west in San Francisco for a game away, out west to Arizona, in Pittsburgh where the Jets won recently. But at home, I feel like they got a lot of interesting primetime games. And Jake, you were there. A lot of Jets fans were there last year for week 1. And you've been at every Knicks home playoff game, and we know what it's like to be in a playoff atmosphere at Madison Square Garden for the New York Knicks. Tell me that week 1 last year did not feel like playoff atmosphere, but unfortunately, it was only pregame, and that was it.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, even after the Rodgers injury, though, like the crowd was still super into it. And like, obviously we all recognized the nightmare that was upon us with Aaron going down. But at least for that night, man, I've said it, that's the best environment for any game I've ever been at. And I've been to a Super Bowl. I've been to a World Series. I've been to, some big, playoff games for some of the other teams I were for the Yankees, the Knicks, et cetera, Islanders. And man, that was as good as it gets. So I'm with you. It's why I think I see all these, all these people talking about the Jets opening up on the road to start the year. I don't want that. I want to be at home week 1. I want to recreate that environment from a year ago. Give me the Bills week 1. Honestly, I think Houston is a possibility as well. You brought them up. I want the Jets home week 1. I want a true home opener and redemption for the Rodgers injury a year ago. I know they won the game, but still, I want Aaron Rodgers at quarterback at home in that environment. And not saying it wouldn't be loud if it was week 2, but Jets at home week 1. That's what I want to see on the schedule Wednesday night.
Prime time or just 1 o'clock in general at home?
If you tell me they play, the Broncos at home and it's not in prime time week 1, fine. But I think it'd be special to have it in prime time.
Yeah, I agree. And I agree with what you said about that was the best atmosphere, because I've been to a Mets World Series game in 2015. That was the best atmosphere I've ever been to. And then when I went to a Knicks playoff game last year, that was the best. I'm like, wow, that was the best atmosphere in sports I've ever been to. And then when I was at week 1 last year, I was mind blown, Jake. I'm like, that surpassed Knicks playoffs. And that was week 1. Can you imagine a Jets home playoff game? Oh boy. Win the division, Jets. We need to witness a home playoff game this year.
That to me is the biggest goal. Like obviously beyond that, playoff run, Super Bowl, etc. But as far as the regular season, I look at where the Jets are, Richie, and there's no reason why they should not be right there in contention to win the division. I don't think Buffalo has gotten better this offseason. I don't think Miami has gotten better this offseason. I think if the Jets did nothing besides just bring Aaron back, they're a better team. And I think beyond just Aaron Rodgers being back, they have a legit backup in Tyrod Taylor. They obviously have added 3 bona fide starters to the offensive line. They got the ultimate insurance policy with a top 11 pick and Olu Fashanu now at left tackle. You look at the Mike Williams addition. You look at the Hassan Reddick addition. This is a team that has gotten significantly better, whereas the rest of the division either has stayed the same or gotten worse. Anything less than a division title in the regular season, I think, is disappointing. This team is primed to win the division for the first time since 2002. That should be the regular season goal.
That 100% should be the goal. And I say that on the AFC's roundtable every week, and people look at me like I'm crazy because what did you just say, Jake? The Buffalo Bills did nothing to get better. What did the Bills do to get better? No, they got worse. Josh Allen is going to have to elevate his game even higher to make the Bills back to back AFC East champions. What did the Miami Dolphins do to get better? Nothing. They kind of stayed the same. And that's not to say that the Bills aren't still a good football team. That's not to say the Miami Dolphins are still not a good football team. But what the New York Jets did, what they added to this team on paper, including the re-addition of Aaron Rodgers, of course, and getting insurance behind him, and everyone's like, oh, but the Jets got to stay healthy. They are prepared for injuries this year. They are. And unfortunately, football is a violent sport. And we're hopeful that this could be finally a fortunate year for us to just get some type of injury luck. But I do feel like if the injury bug does strike the Jets in certain areas, we are prepared for depth reasons. And we saw, for example, I always love bringing up that Philadelphia Eagles game, Jake. The defense in the secondary was banged out. We were on third and fourth strings, and we still handed them their first L. Like, this Jets team on defense is able to sustain injuries, just in terms of the depth and the coaching staff. Now, on offense, they're trying to formulate a new identity. We brought in a lot of new players in this draft class to kind of add that physical element. You bring in Mike Williams, the veteran. There's a lot of optimism around this Jets football team on paper. But the big question is, can Robert Saleh and the entire coaching staff bring this team together? They fight for each other, and they play together and win football games. And I really do think that this is the year the AFC East will be the Jets.
If not now, then when is all I could say. Because I don't know what more the Jets could do to win the division than what they have done. I mean, barring obviously catastrophic injuries, again, there's no reason why this team is not as talented as any team in their division. I think if you just remove the word Jets from the helmet, Richie, and just look at the roster, the Jets are clearly the most talented team in their own division.
100%. Got to give a shout out to Ricky, New York, member for a month. I love Ricky. Jake and Richie, power duo. Healthy A-Rob needs multiple Jets weapons with 1,000 yards. This is our year. Let's effing go, baby. For you, Ricky. Power duo. I like that.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ricky's been a member for a month, but his membership ended and he got another one. Want to know how? Because M. King, before the show even started, decided to drop, count it, 5 memberships. Hit the boxing bell.
Hey, ding, ding, ding. Let's go. Thank you for the 5 memberships, M. King.
Thank M. King, FPP, Doan Syndrome, Smoky Cat 9 Lives, Pittsburgh Mike, and Ricky NY, all receiving memberships. And this comment also came in from M. King, who says, the Neil versus Bonesy was epic. Great things Jake is doing to connect fans. Check it out, folks. If you're tuning in late, we have posted the full recap video. Bonesy versus Neil. It's up on Patreon. It's up for channel members. So if you're only a subscriber to one, not the other, choose your platform, watch it back. It's 15 plus minutes in length. It is a full recap of an epic afternoon at Alden Shoe Store off Madison Ave. Richie, the other thing I wanted to talk to you about was the kind of the state of the Jet rookie class here. So first time I've had you on since the draft. When you look at the expectations now for this rookie class, what are you reasonably expecting from this 2024 group?
My favorite part about this group, Jake, is that the most consistent thing I noticed, even in the back end, that they're really trying to formulate a new identity on their offense. The addition of Malachi Corley and then bringing in Braylon Allen and even doubling down at the running back spot, which of course was a head scratcher for a lot of Jets fans of getting Isaiah Davis. It feels like they're trying to formulate a new type of style on offense. And obviously we know that the Jets have not had a successful style on offense for, it feels like my entire life, okay, since 2015. And I feel like they're trying to transition to a new era and try to match the style on defense. So what's the style on defense? It's violence, it's effort, it's technique, it's precision. And I feel like last year on offense, we were getting punked around too much, right? And I think with the addition of Malachi Corley, the addition of Braylon Allen, I think those two guys in particular are going to make an immediate impact on the field. But I also think that there's some type of energetic impact they can have into the locker room where they look at Malachi Corley being the yak king that he is and breaking through tackles and being a guy that doesn't want to go out of bounds with the ball in his hands and rather run through somebody. Same with Braylon Allen, and maybe will spark some more effort physically from the rest of the guys on offense, because I think that what the Jets are trying to do here with Aaron Rodgers is build the best type of playmakers, build the offensive line. I think the Olu pick was the right pick at pick 11, especially when you put in consideration the Jets moved back, added more ammunition. And my favorite part about the Malachi Corley pick, Jake, as well, is that the Jets got their guy, which tells me, at least I might be hopeful here, Jake, hear me out, that they have a plan for the guy.
Ooh.
Because it's not like Malachi fell to them and it was like, yeah, he was the best guy available. We drafted him. No, they wanted him, Jake. They traded up for him. They got him. So that means, at least I'm hoping, that Nathaniel Hackett and the offensive coaching staff wanted Malachi because they have a plan for him. And we all know that the offense was a mess last year with Hackett, and we're all hopeful as well that Aaron Rodgers will be the missing piece to make Hackett unlock his offense to another level. And I also think, going into Braylon Allen again, that physical runner being the balance of a Breece Hall is really going to make this run game a completely different animal to deal with. And on top of that, we got Jordan Travis, who was my favorite quarterback in the pre-draft process. I was always high on him. Every single time I did a mock draft on my channel, I was talking about Jordan Travis. He was the guy I wanted in day 3, and we landed him, a kid with a very high IQ, a lot of upside and athleticism, still raw, but a perfect type of quarterback to sit and learn behind Aaron Rodgers and Tyrod Taylor. And then who better to get at the back end of the draft than two players in the secondary that the New York Jets have proven to be so good at developing in those spots, Quantez Stiggers and Jalen Key. I think both of those players have an upside here to develop for the long term. I don't know if they're going to make an immediate impact in year number 1, but we've seen time after time this Jets coaching staff getting players. Let's not forget Tony Adams, undrafted free agent. He's our starting safety. Jalen Key, Mr. Irrelevant. You can say he's basically an undrafted. And let's not forget our undrafted free agency class this year, Jake. There's a lot of guys to look out for in camp, Braylon. We got Leonard Taylor, and we got a lot of guys in that undrafted free agency class I'm excited for about. So this class, it's going to be interesting to see when OTAs come around and, of course, training camp.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Let's go to a couple super chats here that came in. This one is from Bobby Midnight, who writes in, "Hi, Jake, Richie, my friends, you're awesome. The Jets win the Super Bowl." Bobby, from your lips to God's ears, my man. Oh,
thank you, Bobby.
Baby. NYJKY Keith says, best team in the division, top 5 roster in football. From a roster perspective, I think it's the best roster in the division. Obviously, health being the biggest thing, but I promise you the Bills wouldn't be good if Josh Allen got hurt. If Tua went down for the Dolphins, which, by the way, is possible, they wouldn't be nearly as good either. So it's like, yeah, health being the biggest thing, but very few teams could actually survive without their quarterback.
100%. I mean, we won 7 games last year with bottom-level quarterback play. I know that's not like something to cheer for, that we won 7 games, but you put in consideration how bad this offense was and how elite this Jets defense was. Let's stop with the narrative, Jake, as well. And this is not Jets fans saying this. This is the outside people saying, like, oh, Jets fans are expecting Rodgers to, like, carry them to the promised land and be MVP and, like, he's their savior. No, we're not saying that. We don't need Aaron to be MVP level for us to win the division. If he is just average, this Jets football team is winning the division. Just saying.
I mean, they won 7 games with no quarterback play. It's like people just like talk about the Jets. It bothers me. It's like they're a 2 or 3 win team. Like they're the Panthers last year. You know how hard it is to win 7 games when you don't have a quarterback? And not only like bad quarterback play, historically inept quarterback play. And that team still won 7 games. So no one's celebrating that. It just adds context to the talent level that's around this quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, now coming off the injury.
Exactly, which is why I hate the narrative that people are pushing, this narrative that Jets fans are expecting Aaron to carry us like on his shoulders and he has to like wield this team. No, do you see the roster that's assembled around Aaron Rodgers? Like this roster is going to elevate Aaron. We have a defense that is a proven championship caliber defense. Of course, the offense is the missing piece and that we're hopeful will all click.
Hit the like button if you're tuned in live right now. If you think the New York Jets are destined to be a playoff team, smash that like button down below. Super chats will continue to cut the line. This one's from Tom, who writes in, when are both of you going to realize the Jets will never win a thing? You said no reason why they won't win the division. Owner, head coach, OC, O-line, coach, injuries, the same old Jets. See, to me, this is just lazy analysis, Tom. Because 1, what does the owner have to do with anything? And 2, yeah, injuries. Obviously, that can affect any team. But like this idea, oh, the Jets will never win anything because, oh, it's the Jets, same old Jets. You know how lazy that is? You think Lions fans felt that way? Now they're a Super Bowl contender. The Texans went from the worst team in football from 2020 till going into last year record-wise, and now they're a Super Bowl contender. Why? Oh, they hit on a quarterback? Like, it really is not that complicated. If you get good quarterback play and you have a good roster surrounding the quarterback, you could be a pretty good team. The Jets have the good roster. They've proven that the last 2 years. Now they have the quarterback coming back. It's really not that crazy to talk about the Jets going from 7 wins to 10 or 11 and being a playoff team, maybe even a division winner.
Yeah, I mean, people like this just love to hold on to the same history repeats itself and don't think that things can change. I mean, give me a break. The people that hold on to the same old Jets narrative just love to live in misery. And I'm curious if Tom's a Jets fan or he's just a non-Jets fan and hater, because I hate that we have people in our own fan base saying these types of things.
Yeah, it's just lazy, man. Tom probably isn't a Jets fan. Let's be honest. There are loser fans of other teams that just sit on this channel and your channel as well, especially because of the AFC stuff you do. And their goal is to come in and just comment and spew nonsense to get a reaction. So congratulations, Tom. You did it. We'll see you in 5. He stinks.
Yep.
You're fired.
Suck it, truthers.
We will see you later, Tom. See you in 5 minutes. Matthew, super chat, cuts the line. He's got a question. Toughest game on the schedule at San Fran, maybe. I think at San Fran, at least on paper, is the toughest game right now. Richie, what say you?
Yeah, that's definitely one of the toughest. I would love to have that game early in the season. I always am a fan of early games stacked in the front to kind of test your team early. And yeah, I think that a big reason why this is the toughest game is because it's at San Francisco, right? If they were coming to MetLife, it'd be a different story. Not to say that the 49ers are, still would be a tough battle at home, but they are the reigning NFC champions. And I think that you look at this schedule, they are the toughest team on it, especially from the perspective you have to go out west. I agree.
Let's go to Curly, who says, as a season ticket holder, give me all the 1 p.m. games. Look, I understand that perspective. I think there's something cool, though, about opening up in primetime, though.
Yeah. I mean, last year we opened up on primetime, man. Even though Monday night was kind of tough to wait, right? We had Sunday football week 1, and you're just like so excited and you're starving for the Jets. And then it added even more anticipation for Monday night. But yeah, the one thing I'll say about this is like the 1 p.m. games, I think from a Jets fan is what we're comfortable with. It's because it's all we know. But now that we're good, at least the NFL is expecting us to be good. They're taking us away from the 1 o'clock games. Not only are we on prime time, but they're giving us those 4 o'clock slots, which is more eyes on it. So I love the 1 o'clock games. That's my childhood, waking up and having 1 o'clock football. But the better the Jets get, the least amount of 1 p.m. games. So I'll take it.
It's going to be interesting to see how many total primetime games they get. And forget primetime, just standalone games, because if they play Black Friday, that's not technically primetime, but it's standalone. And if they play in London, not primetime, but it's standalone. So how many of those games do they get in addition to, they play at least one Thursday night game by rule, every team has to. And then you're also talking, actually, that's not true. They changed the rule, but I do think the Jets will have at least one Thursday night game. And then you have Sunday night and Monday night as a possibility. I think they play at least once on there. So even if they just have, let's say, 3 primetime, but then 1 London game, 1 Black Friday game, that's still 5 total standalone games right there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with calling the Black Friday game primetime. It's on Prime. Amazon Prime time. It's the only game on. Everyone's watching it, even though the tip-off in basketball mode still. Kickoff is at a weird timing of like 3 o'clock, 3:30 on Black Friday. But I think that is cool that the Jets have slated to be the official, Amazon primetime game every year. At least I think it's going to be again this year, right?
Jay Quest. Yeah, it's going to be on Prime again. You're right. Jay Quest writes in, mowing the lawn while listening to Jake.
Woo!
LFG. Well, let's find out if this is true. First caller up today on the Gusbuster hotline is indeed Jay Quest. Hello, Jay Quest.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
How's the lawn?
It's going good. Here's my grass.
There's the proof.
There it is. Now I was just thinking, this whole time I'm like, let's avoid the 49ers, right? I don't want that game week 1, but I just thought about it. I was mowing the lawn in '98. You know who we played? The 49ers, week 1. Garrison Hurst, overtime touchdown. I was demoralized that day. Started 0-2. So you know what? Give me the 49ers week 1. Let's kick the shit out of them. And I don't care who we get, to be honest with you. I don't 49ers, Bills. I don't care. I think it's going to be a primetime game like you guys are talking about. I want it to be at home. And let's fucking go.
Jay Quest, from your lips to God's ears. By the way, Jay Quest, your
Yes.
call to Aldens on Friday was hysterical.
Thanks, bro. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Jay Quest.
Peace.
Hey,
You got
man.
something else to add, Jay Quest? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I'm good. I gotta mow this crap.
Okay. Jay
I do
Quest,
got to
check it
say, that is the energy I love. I don't care who we got week 1. Give me anybody. Give me the Niners. Give me the Broncos. Give me the best or the worst or anything in between. Just got to win the football game, baby. I love that.
Should we quote Zach Wilson? Anytime, any place, anywhere. What was
Is
the
that
line?
his quote?
It was like he had the thing on like the headband. Anytime,
yeah.
any place,
Oh,
anywhere.
who do you think's QB1 for Denver week 1?
Bo Nix. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if Zach Wilson makes the team though. I've been saying that. I think Stidham will beat him out. Maybe Zach's the number 3 quarterback if they carry 3.
What about Minnesota?
I think Darnold probably starts and then they go to McCarthy pretty quick.
How funny is it that two Jets former bust first-round picks are now competing with two first-round rookies in their own respective teams? I find that hilarious.
It's unreal. Comments, questions, super chats. Darren says, Jake, what happened to the Knicks Cup? Did you break it after the game yesterday? It's in the dishwasher, Darren. So we're rocking with the Yankee Cup after they handled business this weekend, winning another series.
I got my Jets cup for coffee this morning, though. But I got to update. It's the old logo.
That's right. The old logo.
The old logo.
Which the Jets' new logo is actually their old logo.
Yeah, it's
which
like
is funny how that all
their
works.
new logos, their old logo, and this is their old logo. But but this is
their
new logo, which I really like, actually.
Which I like it, man. And I'll tell you what, after seeing Rodgers wear the hat at the workout the other day that the Jets posted, I thought it looked pretty good. Like I was like, all right.
Yeah, I kind of really like this hat. I'm not gonna lie.
It does look nice. Yeah, that's a good hat.
When I first saw it, I was like, whoa, that's new. That's kind of weird. But then I got this hat. I'm like, it's kind of new. It's kind of fresh. It's clean. It's like a combination of the modern day Jets with the old school Jets. I don't know. I like it.
If you're watching this live right now, hit the like button. Make sure you turn on gift receipts. We've already had one great listener donate 5 memberships to Asmaniacs. M. King came through. Make sure you turn that on in case someone else wants to make it rain here on this Monday morning. 2 days to go until the NFL's schedule release. GTA writes in, Jets games last year had some of the highest viewership, even without Rodgers, will be in primetime. The Jets will absolutely be in primetime multiple times. It's the New York market. They're expected to be good. And it's Aaron Rodgers. The question is, are they going to get 5 primetime games like they had last year? Plus Black Friday made it 6 standalone games. I think this year it could be maybe 3 primetime, 2 standalone for a total of 5. So maybe 1 less than last year. And then if they're good late in the year, the Jets would be flexed to primetime. We've seen that before. So that to me is what I'm looking at. But I still think, even despite last year being a nightmare for Jet fans, it's still New York. It's still Rodgers coming back. You're still looking at multiple primetime games, plus the possibility of London and Black Friday, Richie.
Yeah, I think it's going to match last year, like the same. I think it's going to be 6, including a London, including a Black Friday, and all the other primetime. I think we're going to be on Sunday night 2 times. I think we'll be on a Thursday night, and we'll be on a Monday night, and then adding in a Black Friday and a London. I think Sunday night football is something that Jets fans are not used to. We had a first taste of it last year for the first time in a decade, and we lost both of those games. We were at one of them in Vegas, but I think Sunday night football, that's when you know you made it. I was always like, oh, how come the Jets, when we do our primetime, it's Thursday and Monday? How come we can never be good enough to be on Sunday night football? And last year we were, and I think we'll be on 2 Sunday night football games again this year.
Didn't even get to see Rodgers plans for the night once because it was the Chiefs game, and that was the Zach Wilson. Oh, has he turned the corner? And he in fact did not. Pain. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Today's Jake Asman show is being presented by my friends at Liquid IV. Folks, you got to hydrate. I hydrate every day with Liquid IV. I pour one of the Liquid IV pouches into my water cup. It's the equivalent of drinking 3 cups of water in just 1 cup of water. Helps you stay hydrated, helps you with hangovers. Great flavors, bunch of different ones to choose from. My 2 personal favorites, because I get asked about this all the time: lemon lime and strawberry. Go to liquidiv.com, and while you're there, please use my promo code Jake Asman so you get a 20% discount on your purchase. I'm telling you, folks, Liquid IV will change your world. I've been using it for years, so it's about time they sponsored this show. Liquidiv.com, promo code Jake Asman. Get yourself 20% off. All right, back to the calls we go, ladies and gentlemen. When we bring on this guy, we always play a theme song. Want to know why? Because he's the man.
Well, you know I love the Yankees and the Jets, and to read the super chats are more than just a hat. Bobby.
Bobby Midnight is here.
Hi, Richie. Hi, Jake.
Bobby, my man.
How you guys doing? Jake, how was the wedding? Good?
The wedding was magical. It was far. I don't like driving all the way up to
that was
Montauk.
a long trip out there. Montauk is a damn long trip. Yes.
Oh yeah. I will say though, the bride and the groom, Bobby, big fans of yours. They say hello.
Oh, good. They're very nice people. Say hello. Do you know where they went for their honeymoon?
I do not. I didn't ask.
Okay. Hey, Richie, how you doing?
I'm excellent, Bob. I'm even better now to see your face. I miss you.
Jay Quest gave me the answer I asked Paul this morning. Did he remember what game the Jets played the 49ers and the guy ran in overtime? That was the guy's name.
The year I was born, 1998.
98.
Yeah, what? What was the guy's name who ran? He said, "Oh, who was the guy on the 49ers?"
Bobby, why are you trying to relive awful Jet memories?
No, I was just trying to think of that because you think of it if the 49ers played the Jets in the opening game.
It was Garrison Hurst, Bobby, but we don't need to go
That's it.
down.
I could. Okay. So yeah, I don't know. I was crying about the Knicks yesterday. I don't know what happened to them,
We
but
all
they
were,
got
Bobby.
you at home to win it in 6. Still, babies.
It's a 3-game series now. Let's go.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna win it at home. We're not going back to smelly Indiana. The lady in the audience looks like a cow. She looks like a cow. So
The lady in the audience looks like a cow. Who are
Yeah,
you talking
one
about,
of-
Bobby?
She was one ugly looking. Ugh. I think I'm ugly looking, but she was uglier than me.
Bobby,
Hey,
I think
Richie,
you're handsome.
I'm a cartoon character now, Richie.
I see that. Congratulations,
Yeah.
Bobby, on the cartoon.
I
on the
know. You
animation.
gotta
Bobby,
thank Gator
you're
for
never
that.
going to be
Gator
friends.
was-
I own you.
Hey, I really don't give crap, you cartoon character.
Bobby, I heard the emancipation papers were filed by your daughter. Is everything okay?
You're a
Tomorrow.
jackass. You know that?
And go Celtics.
Oh, be quiet. Irritating like zit on your ass. Yeah, I called him an irritating zit on my
Oh,
ass.
Bobby. Why'd you shoot him like that, dude? That was
I don't
impressive.
know. I didn't shoot him. He put a gun in my arm. Well, I try to apologize to him. I'm trying to make friends with Alan. I try to like everybody, you know. It's hard sometimes, but I
Except
like
Don Mattingly, Bobby. You don't like Don
No,
Mattingly.
no, definitely. I never would make up or Tiki Barbie either. I don't.
Tiki? You don't like Tiki either?
Nope.
No.
What about Sal Licata?
Eli under the bus, and look what happened to him. He retired, and the Giants went to the Super Bowl. So big mouth, you never won a Super Bowl, so shut up, and you cheat on your wife. So, hey Jake, are you doing the second show this afternoon?
Hey, Bobby. It's a mystery, baby.
Well, you know
Yeah,
I
but
love
it's-
to talk and hate to type. Jake, when is your next show? Alan is a cartoon character. Bobby.
What a call from Bobby. He always brings it.
Oh, my gosh.
Keep it rolling right here with the calls. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Shout out to everyone too did. Hit the like button right now. Make sure you turn on gift receipts. I have a funny feeling someone's making it rain at some point today. Let's go to Ricky NY. He's up next. What's up, Ricky?
Ricky,
Hey,
my
how's it
man.
going, Jake?
Look
Right
at that
on.
shirt. That's a cool shirt, Ricky.
Why do we want to talk about Garrison when we've got Garrett, son? Come on. This is our year. All right. And Richie, I got to give you props, man. You were on that Jordan Travis train right from the beginning, never wavered. And
Thank
you know,
you.
that's my guy. So, man, you know what? I'm ready for this schedule to come out. The one thing that I can say is I would like to see San Francisco after we play a Thursday night game where we got a little bit of extra time to prepare. That's the one caveat that I would like to see on this schedule. And I do agree with what Jake said. You know, we had the Pats at the end last year, Buffalo the year before. It's time for Miami to be up at the end of the year this year. But it don't matter. You line them up any way you want, and we're going to knock their ass down because this is the new Jets now. Jets.
Yeah, Ricky. I love it. Where did that come from?
Me. My
Ricky?
soundboard.
Oh, what did it? That was tremendous.
Appreciate that, Ricky. Appreciate you, man. And I'm happy he said that Jordan Travis because I've had people, Jake, be like, oh, Richie, you're just high on Jordan Travis because he's a Jet. No, I've been high on him since the beginning. I've been telling the Jets to draft him for months. So the fact that he is a Jet is making me excited, okay?
Yeah.
There we go.
Ricky has me fired up. You know what we need? Speaking of being fired up.
Oh, that's the best JETS Jets chant I think any fan's ever done.
Lowski, baby. Always brings it.
King Lowski.
I need some of your mama's chicken soup.
You ever get a Charles Gorman call on your show, Richie?
Oh, of course. Legend.
The best.
Oh, God.
More calls right now. Super chats will cut our line. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is a man who was defeated by Neil. Or was he defeated? Do we have controversy involving the shoe salesman battle unlike anything we've ever seen before?
Mr.
Mosey!
Jake. What's up, fellas?
What's up, man?
Mosey?
Oh man, so we got some breaking news. This is gonna be tough for Neil to handle, but his Italian sale that he made, that he spent an hour and he was harping on, oh, I only made the sale because I said that the sister was younger than the wife, and I recommended the Italian restaurant. Well, they came back yesterday and they returned the shoes.
Oh
said,
my God!
Sorry to Neil. You know, we didn't really we weren't happy with the color. So, and they also told me to relay a message that the food at the restaurant they went to was yeah, and that Neil has to come to Italy to taste some authentic Italian food. So
wow. Wait a second. So if what you're telling me is true, that means because of the return, it's a 3-3 tie in the shoe sale battle.
Ooh, it's a 3-3 tie. That means that this list right here that's showing 4-3, we're gonna have to change that to 3-3. I feel we're gonna need a tiebreaker rematch, Jake.
Wow. See, we didn't plan for this in the rules based on what would happen if one of the people you sold the shoes to returns the shoes. You know what? It's tricky. There is a rematch clause in the deal, though. So this to me just kind of adds to the storyline here. We might need you two to run it back.
Well, look, we got a lot of time. I got some plans. I think we should do something maybe for unless we're doing it that recent, that soon. But I think we're
doing it tomorrow. Here we go. Sudden death.
Here we go.
Yo, shout out to Gator, man. He did the best he could with all of the videos he had, and I already watched it. It was fucking hilarious. It was such a time. Shout out to everybody coming again, man. Richie, you should have been there, bro. You could just came as one of the homies. We need
I
guys
know, right?
bro.
I wish I was there, man. It looks awesome. I gotta check out this video. I didn't see it yet.
Shout out to Jake for bringing us all together like this. It's like we're one big Jet family. Jet fans could do anything. We're in the off season. We're still having fun. It was a great time. And hey, listen, let's talk some Jets real quick. I don't want Monday night again, to be honest. I don't, like Richie said, watching all the Sunday games last year was like, I wanted to play. At least I would take Sunday night. But I didn't want to wait. I don't want to wait all Sunday and then all Monday again. That was just too much wait. The anticipation was great, but I don't want to be on the road. I'm with you, Jake. I would love a home game so we can kind of, I would take Sunday night. That would be dope. The first starting off Sunday night, and I would love to get like Miami or a division rival week one again. I would take Buffalo, but imagine just they're not going to give us the Patriots week one because that would just be a shellacking that we would all love to watch because they're going to be, especially you got to think of teams that are coming with those rookie quarterbacks. Like always at the beginning of the year when you go against the teams with the rookie quarterbacks, you have an advantage. So if they were dumb enough to give us Denver or New England in the first game, we're going to come out. We're going to be heavy favorites, but I'll take anybody week one besides at San Francisco. I know some people have said, "Oh, let's get the West Coast trip out of the way." I don't feel like they got their shit together. Give me somebody who's at least new coach. I'll take Tennessee. I'll take someone with some new shit just to because we're new, man. Aaron Rodgers is brand new still, so we still need to get our shit together. But
hey, Bonesy, hold on. We have some major breaking news that needs to be handled. Folks, it's happened. Neil has called in to respond to to the allegation of the Italian family returning the shoes. Hello, Neil.
Typical. Just typical. This is always what happens. Somebody loses at the juice there.
Neil.
Bonzi, let me just say this to you. The Italian guy came in specifically. Let's clarify the whole situation. Okay. Came in for flex, light brown tassel. He was ready to purchase. You did not have the light brown tassel in his size, correct, Bonzi? Just give me a yes or a no.
We didn't have.
Is that true? Stop mumbling.
But listen, hold on, Neil. One thing I will say before you try to belittle me is part of being a salesman is playing the wall. All right. So when you don't have an 11E, you don't tell the guy he's 11E. You bring 11 half D, and it fits similar. So like part of my game and why I'm great is
I get it.
Okay.
So you didn't have the shoe that he wanted. I mean, even we tried the size thing; it just didn't work. All right, he was walking around. He wanted to wear the shoes with no socks. He wanted it. The guy was
yes.
Suffice to say, he was a he was a little bit of a pain in the ass. Okay, now then he wanted the brown ones, which we had a size, but then two pairs that Joe brought out, not just one, but two pairs had that like defective.
They all have that though, man. Every pair I got, except for
the one on the display did not have it, Bones.
Because it's a size 6.5. It's for a small guy, so the hole is just smaller. When you need a size 12, the hole gets bigger. It's on every pair of tassels.
So did you explain that to him when he came back? What did he say? What was the problem?
He bought this shoe out of, like you said, because his wife felt bad. When he came back, he was kind of like, not interested because he wasn't even leaving until Wednesday. So I could have ordered him the right shoe today, and he still didn't want it. He was kind of like, wanting to just – I had answers for him. I wanted to try tongue pads so his heel would stop slipping.
Those tongue pads. Listen, you don't stick tongue pads at the $700 shoes, or $900.
But no lace, you do, Neil.
Look. I had 4 customers the entire 2 hours. 4 customers the entire 4 hours. And Jake, how many times did they go to the register? 4 times. 4 out of 4. You could bring me 40 customers. I will sell 38 shoes. It doesn't matter, Bones. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. I had fun. Was wonderful, was great, and everything else. I really enjoyed, meeting these people. I love meeting new people. Even the Italian people were nice, but whatever. It is what it is. What do you want me to do?
Hey, look, Neil. At the end of the day,
you want a rematch now? I'll do a rematch. I really
don't.
At
the end of the day,
let me tell you something. The shit that I heard. Wait a minute. You have no idea. My wife broke her foot. Okay, well, let me just say this to you. Thursday night, I was supposed to take her to Atlantic City on Thursday, and that when I found out that we had this thing on Friday, I canned Atlantic City, and she took the day off of school and was pissed. Then Thursday night, we're watching TV. She walks into the living room and slips on one of my golf balls on the floor and twists her leg, twists her ankle. And she starts to swell up on Thursday night. So she puts ice on it. And Friday, I had the thing. We went to the city, the whole thing. She gutted it out all day Friday. She was furious. So Friday, she went to the first med. They took an x-ray, and they said it wasn't broken. It was just torn ligaments. We went out east. I got a call when I got there, and they said they misread the x-ray. It was a fracture in the top of her foot. So now my wife's limping around. I ruined her weekend. She's supposed to go to Atlantic City. I am the reason why she got the foot broken, because if she was in Atlantic City, her foot wouldn't have broke. I had to go with this stupid thing here, this scales con. Oh, my God. You have no idea the shit I took for this whole thing. it was amazing.
And
So
all to
that's
win,
why I
Neil.
ran out. That's why I ran out of the dinner early, because it was just like it was crazy. It was crazy.
Now, Neil, I ran it up the poll here. All right. We'll let the Asmaniacs weigh in. Does Neil still get credit for the win despite the Italian family returning the pair of sold shoes? 59% as of now are saying no, it's a tie. It almost sounds like we need a rematch, and there is a rematch clause in the deal that Bonesy can activate. So, Bonesy, I ask you this question. Will we have a rematch in the battle of selling shoes here at Alden's?
100,000%, baby. I love to hang out with everybody. Watching Neil in live action was fantastic. He is, regardless of this battle, Neil is the ultimate salesman. You can tell it's in his blood. And I would love a rematch. I already said off air I'd love to set something up during the summer when Jets play a preseason game or something we could do fun again. Like that, it was a lot of fun, and it definitely needs a rematch, because this time I'm not going to go easy on you. You got your experience, so now I'm coming like the Knicks are in games.
Now you're going easy on me. Now you went easy on me. Oh, jeez. Oh, now you tried to help me win. Is that what I'm going to hear next? Did you try to help me win? Is that what the deal was? Next is you tried to help me win. Let me tell you something right now. There is no shot. Now that I had a little experience now I don't need to measure the foot of the person. You got to understand something, boss. I don't need the shoe. I could have taken a lump of crap and put it in a box. Once I sit them down and have a conversation, the sale is made. It doesn't matter if it's a shoe, a jet, or a dog, or a plane. It doesn't matter what it is.
You can sell water to a whale.
Once they get the conversation, you understand? The one guy lived in Santa. I asked one guy. All I have to do is ask them where they're from. Where are you from? I'm from. The guy was from Dominican Republic. Right away, I had a story from Dominican Republic. I've been twice, the whole thing. Any conversation of anywhere, any place they go, the key is the conversation and the bonding between the customer and the salesman. That's the key. It's nothing to do with the product.
No, Neil, we probably got to end this because Richie's waiting and we're taking up a lot of time on the show. But one thing I will say is the big thing what you're talking about. I understand. I've been doing this for 17 years. But then shit like this happens. They give you the sale because you're having such a good time. And then once they get home and like, man, this is the wrong size. I don't want this fucking shoe. Then they bring it back and they refund it.
I get it.
Have all the fun you want.
But that was not hey, listen, when the sale is made, what do you want me to say?
but it's coming back, baby. It's coming back.
All right. Listen, you want this to set up, Jake. I know you're behind this in some way. You are behind this. You are behind this.
You think I know this random Italian family deal that came back and returned the shoes?
The other guy you sold the shoe to, I'm about to call the factory. Hope the lady they have it. That's another refund, and I win by default. So don't get me started. We're doing this match.
Your customers are Loctite. Your customers are Loctite. All
right. Goodbye, gentlemen. Well done. I mean, good God. Bring Richie back on.
Wow. That was amazing.
Neil's blaming me for this Italian family coming back the next day, returning the shoes, as if I have anything to do with that. The only thing I wanted is good, clean competition, and we had that, folks. All right, watch the recap video if you want to see it. It was a battle, and I do think, based on the information we have and the fact that there is a rematch clause in the deal, we need a round two between Bonesy versus Neil. That needs to happen. I think the people want it. The pay-per-view buys have never been higher now. I think we need it, Richie. As someone who is a neutral observer of what just transpired, where do you stand in the Neil versus Bonesy controversy?
That is definitely interesting. I got to check out the video, Jay, because I didn't see it yet. Because that looks like a lot of fun, especially that Gator is the one behind the scenes editing up the masterpiece that he always does. I think it's hilarious that Neil just called you out that you're behind.
I know you're behind.
Yeah, Jake is behind it all. I think you're onto something, Neil. Jake is the one who called that Italian family and brought the shoe back.
The best is Neil had his brother ready to go to be the tiebreaker if we needed someone. His brother was going to buy a pair of shoes.
Yes. Totally non-biased, third party that's going to decide the winner of this. That's
oh my
hilarious.
God. The video is great, folks. So if you haven't become an Asmaniac yet or you're not on my Patreon, go watch it. It is definitely worth your time. I'll send it to you, Richie. It is so funny. All right. Super chat from Chef Kevin here. I can see it now. Bonesy wins the rematch. Neil gets pissed because he won the first battle. Sets up the trilogy for a pay-per-view event before the home opener.
Oh my gosh.
Man,
this is great.
I mean, we're talking about a storyline here that, if you pitched it to, all the Hollywood studios, I'd laugh in your face. But that's what we have here with Bonesy and Neil. M. King with a super chat. What kind of coach do you think Gerard Mayo will be? And can they play spoiler to one of the AFC East teams? Too, the Fanatics link below comes up with different promo code. You still get credit. My understanding, M. King, I'll answer your second question first. As long as you access the Fanatics website through my link, my channel gets credit. So click on anything you see down below, a hat you like, a jersey, etc., and it will take you to the Fanatics website, and my channel should get credit. And as far as your first question, I have no idea what type of coach Gerard Mayo will be, because to me, it comes down to, Richie, like, what's Drake May going to be as a quarterback? Like, the Patriots kind of remind me of the Jets in 2021, right? Rookie coach, rookie quarterback. They're starting over here. Could they play spoiler down the stretch? I mean, in theory, by the end of the year, maybe New England's playing a lot better as Drake May is getting more comfortable, but I don't look at New England like a real threat right now, which is still weird to say, but that's kind of how I view them at this point.
Yeah, they're not a threat, but they'll be that pesky team that I feel like are going to pull off upsets. I think that's the type of team they are. They're not going to make a playoff push, but I feel like they're going to have a game or two where they beat a team they shouldn't have any reason beating. And, within the division, they're going to play the Jets tough. You know that. I think they're also going to play the Bills and the Dolphins tough. So you never know. The Gerard Mayo-led Patriots is a storyline that I feel like a lot of people are forgetting about, that I'm really curious to see what Gerard Mayo is like a head coach, because I'm hopeful that he stinks, obviously. But the Patriots are entering a completely new era. And I think it's going to be interesting to see what type of coach Gerard Mayo is. And I think that comparison's perfect in the 2021 Jets. Rookie head coach, rookie quarterback, trying to find a new identity on offense. Their defensive identity has been there for a while under Belichick. And we'll see what Mayo is.
Neil writes in, rematch will not matter. I sold 4 out of 4 customers. Now that I know the lay of the land, how can I lose?
Ring the bell.
I will say this. Neil was very impressive. I figured Neil would get the hang of it at some point, but he went in there and he was cooking, man. he was ready to go.
Confidence to the roof.
Let's see.
They just announced, Jake. Sorry to cut you off, but officially announced that the schedule release is Wednesday, 8 p.m. The NFL announced.
Was it not officially announced already?
Just like the time, like the NFL just officially put like a social media post, and it's going to be like 8 p.m. EST is when like the official, like, I don't think the NFL officially released the time, but we all knew the time.
All right, 8 p.m. Wednesday night. The plan is to be live, folks, on this channel during it. So we'll give you some content, breaking it down in real time. VR says, we in a neutral environment, take some shoes on the road and see how that works. Man, removing Bonesy from Alden's, would Bonesy still be the same shoe salesman? These are the questions. Tom says, Ali Frazier level of competition. I mean, it's one of the big time heavyweight fights we've ever seen. Let's see. This is a good one from ISU, who writes in, Neil treats every sales like the Catalina wine mixer. He could sell ketchup popsicles to a guy in a white suit in 100-degree weather.
Oh my gosh. Ketchup popsicle.
Alan writes in, Bonesy has more excuses than his buddies Sala and Douglas.
Alan.
Dylan says, I voted for Neil taking credit because Neil's just the better salesman. A rematch won't matter. I love it. I love it. Tyrone, super chat, cuts the line, cha-ching. Keep the energy positive. Get rid of the word if. The Jets are all in. We need to also be all in. We will win the division, #1 seed. Woo. Look, if you're the #1 seed, you won't find me complaining. But if they win the division, that to me is a realistic and a fair goal for what this regular season should be about.
100%. I mean, if they win the division, every Jets fan is happy, whether it's the first seed, second, third, or fourth. Obviously, the first seed sounds ideal. In a perfect world, first round bye, I'll take it.
Bonesy says, Neil, don't wake the beast. These two were very gentlemanlike throughout the build up to the first round. I have a funny feeling the gloves will be off for round 2, Richie.
They are building up the anticipation, all right.
Gary writes in, it's clearly a tie. Well, if Gary weighs in, then
3D boxing.
Then everyone's weighing in here. All right, speaking of legends on the line, ladies and gentlemen, the King is up next. The great King Lowski. What's up, King?
Let's go.
Jake, my brother, Richie, my brother. It's always good to see you, legend. And let me just weigh in on this Neil versus Bonesy. Neil is the clear winner, okay? Let me say this. In boxing, as corrupt as it is, okay, you do not take back wins. You can't take back rounds, okay? In my hood, where I'm from, as Chief fans would say, I would say product sold, money fold, okay? At the end of the day, the product got sold that day, and Neil got the point, okay? It is what it is. Neil is the clear winner. I'm sorry, Bonesy, I love you, my brother. But Neil bust your ass, okay? Now, let me just say this, all right? At the end of the day, baby, I don't give a damn who we got first round. Jake, I don't disagree with you often. But let me say this. If we do happen to have San Francisco on the road game 1, I want Arizona right after that. If we're going to be on the West Coast game 1, I want to stay on the West Coast game 2. Okay? Don't do the Jets like that. All right? If you're going to if you're going to put us in that hole, give us Arizona right after. Okay? Don't do us like that. Now, at the end of the day, I don't give a damn who it is. All right? Because at the end of the day, we're going to bust everybody in this division ass, and whoever want to see us, they're going to have to see that damn defense. Hassan Reddick coming off that edge, Will McDonald coming off that edge, okay? Quentin Millions coming up that damn middle. All right? You're going to have to deal with Aaron Rodgers this year regardless, okay? All of that fluke shit ain't happening this year, okay? We're not having it. All right? At the end of the day, baby, give us whoever the hell you want to give us, baby, because we TS. All right? We're going to take it this year, baby. Let's go. TS.
King Lowski, the legend.
I love folks, I'm hyped.
I mean, he comes in here and then just the energy just escalates to new heights. Like, I'm ready to watch this Jets team play football right now, King Lowski. Come on now.
Lowski weighed in saying Neil won fair and square because 4 shoes were sold. But the controversy is, what if the shoes are then returned? I don't know. I think we need a rematch. That's where I'm at. I think we need a rematch. NY Jets, Florida, next up on the show. What's up, NY?
Jake, what's up? I don't know what to
I
do with my
can't see
phone.
you.
I know. I can't find my phone either. Hey, I got it. Jake. Sorry, I got you, man. Working outside. I have to say this about this shoe controversy, okay? I sell Christmas trees and fireworks. I deal with hundreds of customers. To deal with 4 customers in 2 hours is a piece of cakewalk. Anybody who whines about selling $700 shoes doesn't have it. So you want a third? I'm willing to come in and show those guys how to sell. Okay. So, fireworks and Christmas trees are not the same as shoes, but the volume of people, I mean, Neil had 30 minutes, with all due respect, Neil, you had 30 minutes to talk to each customer on average. That's like a lifetime. I mean, you could have told them about your grandkids and, your whole family to sell a pair of shoes.
Well, NY, there's no rule
That's
against
my
that though.
opinion.
The only rule was there was a 2 hour. It was from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Whoever sold more shoes would win. So Neil could spend as much time as he wanted with each customer. That doesn't matter.
No, I get that part. It just I just hear some semblance of complaining. Like there should be no complaints. Why don't you come out to Florida on July 4th in 100-degree heat and sell fireworks under a tent, and then we'll see if you can handle that kind of situation. Have a good one.
Thank you, NY. Now everyone's calling in to basically challenge Mosey and Neil to sell whatever they sell. We're gonna do a fireworks competition now. Good God.
Fireworks. Add it. I love it.
Tom says it takes Neil 30 minutes to sell a lifestyle. D says, there you go. That was the rules. Neil won. Yes, based on the rules, Neil won, but we didn't account for the return the next day. So I understand the controversy here. Dan writes in, Jake, it's like saying a boxer won a fight, but after finding out he was using PEDs, need that rematch. I think we need a rematch too. That's where I'm at right now. And look, the bottom line is this. Neil gets credit for the win, but there was a rematch clause built into the original contract. So Bonesy is exercising the rematch clause, which means we got to run it back at some point before the Jet season begins.
Run it back. They want more. What the people want, the people get.
That's the bottom line. What the people want, the people get. Today's Jake Asman Show, presented by my friends over at Huga House. Get the hat that you see Shane Gillis always rocking. 15% off when you use my promo code Asman at checkout. The vintage-inspired caps, you buy one with code Asman for 15% off. You get the second one 30% off. So once again, HugaHouse.com, promo code Asman. Get yourself this hat and all the other hats they have in the different colors, the different styles. You see Aaron Rodgers rocking Huga House. I'm wearing Huga House. You name it. Huga House has something for everyone. Check it out. Hats are running out, especially if you want the black one that you see displayed on the screen. Promo code Asman, 15% off at checkout. There's Tyler Conklin as well, rocking a little Huga House too. All right, bring Richie back on the screen here. We got more calls before we wrap with him. Let's go to Tommy, who's up next. What's up, Tommy?
Jake, my brother. Jake, my brother. Jake, my brother. Richie,
hey.
my brother. Richie,
what's up,
my
Tommy?
brother. Richie, my brother. Let me, I wanted to show you this is the helmet that I was rocking in Mr. Bonesy's store.
Hey. Oh.
And we got the autograph.
Is that the Bonesy autograph there?
It's the Bonesy autograph.
No way.
Yeah, Bonesy and Joe Bonesy signed his helmet, which is incredible.
Mr. Bonesy. And then you got Joe. It kind of is just a little tiny smear, his autograph right there, Joe. But let me just step outside real quick because I don't want to get too rowdy in my apartment. I called in Saturday for the first time, and I popped my cherry calling into the video. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't make any real points besides Bonesy's shoe store, which I had a great time, and I can't believe I forgot to shout out so many great people. Like King Lowski is our man, dude. Like, how do I follow that? My man, King Lowski, Jets, Jets, baby. But a couple points I wanted to make real quick. I'll try to be as quick as possible. One, Olu Fashanu was the best pick that we could have drafted. Because if you want a weapon, Aaron Rodgers is going to make these young rookies, Brownlee and Charles and Gibson and even Alan Lazard. Aaron Rodgers healthy will make these receivers better. What do you guys? What is people going to do? God forbid our left tackle goes down week 2, week 3. They're going to be complaining, why didn't we draft a left tackle? It's the best move we could have made. In order to protect our most important piece, Aaron Rodgers, you build from the lineup. You draft Aaron Rodgers. Second, go back here. People are looking at me like I'm a little crazy. The New York Jets. I was born and raised in Woodridge, New Jersey, which is a town away from the Meadowlands, right next to East Rutherford, Carlstadt. I could jog to the Meadowlands in 10 minutes. I want the Jets to have their own stadium in Queens or somewhere in New York. It doesn't benefit me, but we are the beast. We need our own stadium. We can't be playing with the Giants in East Rutherford anymore, dude. We need our own stadium. We are the shit. We need our own stadium. Last point I want to make real quick. Us Jets fans, I could have met Richie and not even seen him my whole entire life, right? I walk down the street in Jersey City. I see Richie. What's up, bro? Okay. I see Richie on Sunday with a Jets jersey at MetLife Stadium. It's like we're brothers from another mother.
Exactly.
For the past 35 years, my man. All Jets fans stick together when you have that Jets green, baby. Jets! Jets, baby!
Let's go, Tommy.
What are you doing, Jake?
Tommy, I appreciate you, man. I'm glad Tommy's starting to become a regular. I love the energy.
I love that last point because I've actually said that recently to somebody that, like, you don't know anybody about anything. You meet someone for the first time, but right when you find out that you're a Jets fan, it's like, yo, like, we've been through so much together without even knowing each other. You know what I mean? Like, it's such an instant brotherhood, and I absolutely love it. I love everything about it.
Spot on. Richie, can't thank you enough for hopping on, man. Glad we can make this happen. And hopefully the next time I speak with you, the New York Knicks are up 3-2 in the Eastern Conference semis. And the New York Jets have a magical schedule we're all pumped about, because I'll talk to you Thursday during the roundtable on the AFC East roundtable channel. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, sir. I'll see you Thursday. Jake, thank you so much for having me on. And chat, I just have one request. Hit the like button. Get this to over 200 likes. How do we not have 200 likes yet? We're at 164, guys. Smash the like button for my boy Jake. He's doing a great job here at the Jake Asman Show. Shout out to the chat. Let's go Jets, and let's go Knicks. Appreciate you, Jake.
Go. Shout out to Richie. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel, Jets Media. If you're a Knicks fan, Knicks Media. He said he's going to talk some Knicks later today on that. So check that out. I appreciate that. Let's keep rolling with some calls here before we wrap. Before we do that, we got a super chat that cuts the line from Keith that just came in. Thank you, Keith. We need our toughest games early on. Tyron usually goes down around the middle of the year, not being negative, but it's inevitable. I agree. I don't want the toughest games early on, though. I want a balanced schedule. Last year, the Jets actually survived their toughest games early on at 4-3, and then it fell apart. That being said, can we get a couple of winnable games in the first 6? You know, the Dolphins had a cakewalk schedule at the beginning of last year. I'm not saying you need that, but can we get a couple games before it all gets really difficult? I missed a super chat earlier, apparently, from JQuest. Let me find that. JQuest, my bad. I don't see your super chat, JQuest. Where is this? It's not coming up for me, JQuest. Are you sure you sent it? I do see. Oh, no, here it is. Thank you, JQuest. My bad. Let's be honest. Without Joe Bonesy, Neil had no shot. If the Jets win the Super Bowl, I might just kill myself because I will never be any happier. God, that's depressing. How about enjoy it? I will say, without Joe Bonesy, though, we would not have had a successful competition, regardless where you stand on the controversy. Joe Bonesy was basically the linchpin to the operation. If a shoe was needed by either Neil or Bonesy, it was Joe Bonesy's job to go track it down and get it for the customer. He held the store together. He was the fiber of the operation. Joey Jimenez says, Jake, when are you working at ESPN New York permanently? When they tell me, Joey. That's what it comes down to. You'll be hearing me a lot more this summer, though, so I'm excited about that. But whenever they tell me. Let's go to B-Mac. He's up next on the program. What's up, B-Mac?
Hey, Jake. Good morning. I'm a little bit bummed out that I didn't come on here with Richie, but it is what it is.
Well, next time B-Mac, Richie's on, you'll be the first caller, all right?
All right, thank you. About the schedule, I do want to, you want, like, the Niners, me being a Packer fan, the Niners have made Rodgers' life a living hell throughout his career. I want to get that one week 1, make it more easier. I said the Patriots, so maybe the Minnesota Vikings. You know, Rodgers owns the Vikings. So maybe have him go back up to Minnesota, back to his old backyard and carve up some purple, get him back in the flow there. But and then the one thing I do want to ask about I forgot my train of thought. But I do actually want to see. Yesterday a couple of guys brought this up. I think it was on Jets Chaos channel. One of the guy, he said, who would you rather have in their prime? Would you rather have a prime Rodgers or a prime John Elway to play for the New York Jets?
I didn't get to see all of Elway's career, but I don't know, man. Like Prime Rodgers is like the greatest quarterback I've seen in like, in the regular season, like either him or Peyton Manning, as far as like regular season goes. I think I'd go Prime Rodgers though. I mean, Rodgers to me is like everything you want at the quarterback spot in his prime. The athleticism, the accuracy, the leadership, the everything he does, the 2-minute drill. Elway is an all-time great too. I think I'd go Rodgers though.
Yeah, I mean, well, I agree. I mean, the one thing that people knock on Rodgers is the championships, but I mean, at least he has one. But if Rodgers can get one with the Jets, man, like that will boost his legacy. Like to me, he surpasses Tom Brady if Rodgers can get one with the Jets, in my opinion.
I wouldn't go that far because we're still talking about 7 rings for Brady, but Aaron Rodgers could certainly, and I said this last year, it's like doing last year's show all over again. Rodgers' legacy can be significantly elevated if he were to win a championship with the Jets. It's one championship with the Jets is the equivalent of winning 3 with the Packers. It's the Jets. It's the fact they haven't won since 1969. It's the history and the stigma that the organization has from all the losing, all the pain. If he were to win with this franchise, I think there's already a compelling argument Aaron Rodgers is a top 5 quarterback ever. I don't think there's any argument if he does that with the Jets. He'd have 2 rings, 4 MVPs, a championship with the Jets. Like LeBron's 1 title with Cleveland means more than the 2 he won in Miami. Messier's one with the Rangers means more than the 5 he won with Edmonton. Certain franchises you win, it just means more. So I think Rodgers puts himself in top 3 potentially if he wins with the Jets. You could argue it. Especially if he's like a driving force behind it. It's not like, Peyton Manning in 2015 where he basically game managed and relied on that excellent elite Denver defense. If Rodgers has like a Brady year, like what Brady did with Tampa in 2020, yeah, I think Rodgers is solidified top 5. He could go higher than that. Super chat from Freddie McKnight. If those terms were agreed and discussed in the beginning, then Neil wins, unfortunately. Look, we didn't account for the idea that someone could return a sold pair of shoes. Because we didn't account for it, I think it just makes sense to have a rematch. Because at the end of the day, this is a competition that is about entertainment for the Asmaniacs. And there's no denying that when these two link up at Alden Shoe Store, you throw the records out the window, folks, and you sit back and you watch. That's the bottom line. Super chat from Glenny and the Jets. Stopped by Alden's Shoes on Friday and said, "What's up to Bonesy?" Such an awesome guy. And shout out to you, Jake. You have built such an incredible community here. Keep up the excellent work, my man. Well, very nice of you, Glenny. And I did hear about your visit to the shoe store. I'm sorry I missed you. You got there a couple hours before I did. But that's awesome. Yeah. Honestly, the real winner in all this is Alden Shoes. You talk about free advertising they're getting out of all this. My God. Good thing I actually do enjoy the pair that Bonesy hooked me up with because they're tremendous shoes. NY Kershaw says, justice for Bonesy. Well, the poll results are saying right now, 65% think that because the Italian family returned the shoes, making it 3-3 in shoes sold, they believe it's a tie. I stand on the side that I want a rematch regardless how you feel. Should it be a tie or is Neil the winner? That is the debate. MC says Rodgers is Messier if he wins here. I think he's bigger than Messier because football is more popular than hockey. right? I think that's how you got to look at it. MC says Jake is working his inner Don King. Hey, I am all about fight promotion, folks. Call me Don King, call me Dana White. It don't matter. All I know is when these two link up, you throw the records out the window. Oregon says you could declare Neil the winner by selling shoes to a customer who really didn't want them. Yeah, I mean, look, Neil could probably sell water to a well, right? He's a phenomenal salesman. But did he win the competition? King Lowski says people just want the content, Jake. You know what they want, King Lowski? They want this. Yeah. Richard Clark says Rodgers will break all the Jets records this year. Well, his average season would break most of them. So you're not wrong. Not wrong. Smoky Cat writes in, if the Jets move, what could we name the new place or nicknames? The Hangar? The Hangar would be a cool name for a stadium if they got their own spot. Better than Jet Life, which we try to make the best of. Ladies and gentlemen, David has become an Asmaniac. He wants to watch the Neil vs. Bonesy recap video. Thank you, David. Welcome aboard. Who else is going to become an Asmaniac? Before we wrap up today's show, last chance to hit the join button and become a member, or maybe someone will gift you a channel membership by hitting that money sign and hitting send gifts. William checks in. Sorry, Jake, the contest was for the day, not the whole week, so Neil won. I want to make it clear. I think Neil's the winner, but I do think there's enough controversy here where there should be a rematch. There's too much money to be made by both fighters. That's the bottom line. Jet set for life. If it's a tie, go to the sales total. That should probably be the tiebreaker for next time. We come up with a rule where if they return it, it doesn't matter because that's too tough to keep track of. And the tiebreaker being the total value of sales. That actually is a great tiebreaker. Tom says, I need a Neil and Bonesy autograph shoe. I potentially want that as well, to be honest. Tom says, Neil, high pressure sales tactics. Neil's a mastermind. Updated standings here. 172 Asmaniacs have weighed in. 62% say it's a tie. 38% says Neil wins. I think we need a rematch, folks. That's where this is headed. Dean says, can you just say family instead of Italian family? It's not like we all know each other. I think it's just so funny that Neil calls them the Italian family because they were tourists from Italy that were visiting New York. Scott says, Jake, do a giveaway, autograph shoes. We might have to. Jet set for life. Who made the most money for the store? Bonesy, who did more in sales? It won't matter now because we didn't have this as a rule. But I think the tiebreaker should be who sold the more expensive total shoes. That's fair. VR says, can the next Bonesy versus Neil shoe battle be at Circa in Vegas? No complaints out of me. Smoky Cat has set the odds for the next battle. Bonesy minus 120, Neil plus 102. Dan says, do you think it'll take Hackett 8 weeks again to realize the type of weapon Breece Hall is? God, I hope not. With Rodgers back, it better not.
Breece Hall.
It better not. God. Darren says, does Bonesy have video evidence of this return? Wow. Darren calling out Bonesy saying this return by the Italian family didn't happen. Is that what you're trying to insinuate here, Darren? David says, we love receipts as Jet fans. I love that. FPP says Jake also include add-ons. Should we include accessories? I think TC nails it. They're calling Bonesy versus Neil Shoegate. A lot of controversy going on, folks. Oh, this is too funny. This is too funny, folks. Wow. Look, we knew that the tensions would be high, but could we have expected this? I don't think anyone could have. VR writes in. That's a good point. Post the return receipt in the Discord. Bonesy, you're being called out by the people. They want to see a receipt from the Italian family. Shoegate is real. William says, I will pay Bonesy a visit today. He's still the man. Shoegate, folks. I can't believe it. We have a name for this controversy. Oh, my God. ISU writes in, prayers up to Mrs. Neal for fast healing after his reckless golf ball storage that led to her downfall. Yes, prayers up to Michelle, Neal's wonderful wife. BR says it has to say Italian family on the receipt. Joel writes in, the sale was made, Neal wins. R&R says, how do we know if any of Bonesy's shoes got returned? This is also a fair point. Hopefully Joe Bonesy could be our bipartisan official as the only representative of Asmaniacs at the shoe store that was not in the competition. Wild. Shake and Bake says, damn, I missed a lot. If you're just tuning in, rewind, folks. We have controversy involving Shoegate. Bonesy versus Neal. King Lowski writes in, Shoegate, the story of fraud sales or fraud returns. Bonesy, I'm not playing Mr. Nice Guy next time. I'm for blood. This storyline's incredible. To think we went from the storyline of Knoble to Bonesy versus Neal. Who says there's nothing to talk about on a Jets YouTube channel in mid-May? Unbelievable. Unbelievable, folks. I encourage everyone to watch the recap video. That Gator did an excellent job editing it all together. If you're an Asmaniac, watch it. If you're a Patreon subscriber, watch it. It's included in your membership to both. Addison says, soul deflating. Well played. TC writes in, the Netflix documentary about this is going to be one for the ages. I've already been told that Hard Knocks wants to film the next competition. We will mic up both guys for the next battle. Benny Baboon says, Rick Carlisle has sent in 79 complaints about Neal's victory. Smoky Cat says, Bonesy versus Neal 2 promos about to go hard. No Diddy. TC with my favorite comment of the day. What you try? Oh, that's great. We got to get Bob Sala to come out to the store. He should come out to Alden's. That's too funny. Kevin says, how do I become an Asmaniac? You hit the join button, Kevin. It's located on the left-hand side of your screen. It says become a member. Our membership tiers are called Asmaniacs. When you're a channel member, you're an Asmaniac. TC says, I'm on a roll today. TC, you've had some great comments, man. I won't lie to you. MC says the comments are off the hook. The one shoe drive comment is so funny. Oh, my God. All right. Final thoughts before we wrap here. Amazing. Tom, all sales, no returns. Tio Uncle VR says we need Liev Schreiber to narrate, voice of God, to narrate Bonesy versus Neil. Could you imagine? Genergy says we need a rematch. I'm back in NYC. Let's go, baby. Genergy, we need you at the next one. Craig's gonna fly back in from Australia to be there. Man. Addison, all day I dream about sales. Jet Set, yo, as maniacs are funny as F. Amen. Amen. All right, what a show, folks. That was a blast. Thanks to Richie for coming on for the first hour of the program. Also, I'd be remiss if I didn't send a little congratulations to a friend of the show, someone that Jet fans follow on YouTube. Boy Green announced over the weekend that he's having another child. That's right. Boy Green and his fiance apparently made sweet and passionate love. So congratulations to Boy Green. And thanks again to everyone who tuned in today. I will be back in the late afternoon with another show. We do 2 shows, Monday through Friday, plus a weekend show and breaking news shows as well. We will have a scheduled release show Wednesday night, and I'm already going to announce our big guest for Thursday morning, reacting to the Jets schedule. Fireman Ed makes his return to the program Thursday morning, the day after the Jets schedule release. So I'll talk to you guys with Fireman Ed, but I'll talk to you as well this afternoon. That's going to do it for me. Thanks again to everyone who tuned in. Congrats to Boy Green. So why don't we end the show by playing this? JTS, Jets.
So we're going to get into all of it here. Again, my name is Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. We come 2 hours after every final whistle here for the post-game show. And I'm going to be honest. The only good thing that happened to me late tonight, early this morning, was making sweet, passionate love to my fiance, which I did after the article was written and that kind of stuff. That's the only good thing that happened. Not great. Terrible.
Hey, congrats on the sex.